Hello and welcome, Silrace here with Conan Exiles. This is a quick intro video as this new play is being played in single player. So I'm going to change some settings and I'm going to go through them and why I'm changing them and what I am changing obviously. So first make me admin. Alright, so this all can be as it is and same here. Now obviously if you want to play around, do stuff like make nighttime go faster or whatever, if you want more daytime, all sorts of stuff like that, you can mess around with those. I like it when it gets really dark, so I am keeping them as they are. What I'm doing here in this particular survival thing is first of all, idle thirst and hunger multipliers. I wish online servers did this as well. So I can leave the game running and, you know, go and make tea or grab something to eat or whatnot and not come back to my character having died of thirst or hunger. Also, because of things going on in this, I am going to uncheck the box for drop equipment on death. And I will explain that when I start actually playing the game further in full detail in the next episode, why I'm doing that. So there is that. So I'm turning that off. Combat, all of this can be as it is. I don't really want to mess around with this because this is the default values everybody plays with, unless obviously you play on some server which decides to tweak something like, for example, friendly fire damage multiplier down to 0, something like that. Harvesting, I am going to leave these as they are, except for the item spoil rate scale, which I'm going to drop down to 0.1, means I have to spend less time finding food, and I would prefer that. I don't really want to spend my time finding food. So let's just be honest about that. That's just a personal preference. Doesn't really do. I think it may make the torch last a longer time as well. But it's not like the torch is difficult to repair. I probably am getting levels by just standing here. Anyway, so that's that. Building is just gonna be as it is. I will disable thrall decay, but it's not actually doesn't do anything because this is single player. So this checkbox is kind of meaningless. Anyway, it is here anyway. Chat, whatever. Purge. I will want purge at maximum level. So that is that, and pet and hunger and crafting is something we will still have to change. So animal pen crafting time multiplier, this goes down to 0.05 because this is single player, and I will do the same here, 0.05, right? These multipliers make it so that it takes a lot less time for a thrall and a pet to be, well, to come out of their the animal pen or the wheel of pain, and that's the thing I want for single player. Because on an online server, you can just stick a tier 4 thrall in a wheel and leave like enough food for the full 24 hours it takes for them to break. Now granted, you can make that faster by having like a taskmaster or something on the wheel as well. However, in single player, everything stops when you log out. That means that if you want a tier 4 thrall out, you have to be in the game for 24 hours. Online server, which is always online, you can leave the thrall on the wheel, and obviously with enough food for, the wheel to do its thing. You can go sleep, you can go to work next day, come home, and your thrall might be done or close to done, or, depending. Does not work that way in single player. So I need these timers to be down. A lot. And something else I will do, this is what I wanted to change. Last is 2 changes to the crafting. For one, crafting time multiplier needs to go down. For the same reason. Everything stops when I go offline, when I log out. So I can't leave like, let's say 10,000 iron into furnace and leave it online, leave the furnace burning essentially online for the night. I would have to be in the game, specifically. So I want the stuff to be crafted faster. So that's why that happens. And finally, I'm going to put down the crafting cost multiplier. Because I would prefer to not spend a crap ton of time farming materials in this, because there are other things I plan to do. So I am making it so that crafting stuff doesn't cost as much. However, if you notice, I didn't change anything in the harvesting. Harvest amount, I'm getting the same amount as is, you know, normal. Frankly, if you ask me, most online servers do it wrong. They increase this harvest amount multiplier to like 3 times or 5 times or whatnot. And they don't lower the crafting cost multiplier. I think that you should do a combination of the two. You should lower the crafting cost multiplier because the minimum amount to craft something is still 1. However, if you simply increase the harvesting amount multiplier, you make it a lot easier to get rare materials in abundance. Whereas decreasing the multiplier doesn't actually do that. Alchemical base is a very good example, where if you drop the crafting cost multiplier to 0.1, you still need the same amount of gold dust to make alchemical base. However, if you increase harvesting amount multiplier to like, let's say 5 times, you are getting 5 times the amount of gold out of farming obsidian. So now you are making 5 times more alchemical base, as opposed if you just lower the crafting cost multiplier. So there is that. Anyway, another side effect, obviously, of increasing this is that people get overburdened faster. There is that, because they are, you know, getting more stuff instead of it costing less to craft stuff. That's why I prefer to do it this way. And if you want my opinion and want to run your server on your own, lower this to about half, to 0.5, and increase this to 1.5. That way the people get 1.5 times more stuff, and it costs half to craft things. This makes it so that it's cheaper to, for example, craft tier 3 buildings, and you get a little bit more materials. But it doesn't really unbalance the economy on the rare materials like, say, gold out of obsidian. So there is that. There is that. Anyway, that is all for this one. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you folks next time, where I actually begin playing, you know, this actual, you know, Conan Exiles play.